to worry about something. I think if you take a walk down the street and ask any people who is passing by you if they're worried about something, they'll for sure all give you an answer about what they're worried about. The deepest core of being worried is actually fear, a fear for something, a fear for losing our job, a fear for the effect of it, a bad economy, a fear for something bad happening to our kids and family, a fear for getting ill yourself. That could actually be anything at all you can come up with. Worries about something with its deepest core is actually a fear for something. So to worry is actually to walk around and think of all of these bad things which can happen to ourselves and our body. Yeah, actually everything. It's an expression of our fear. Of course, it's a nice feeling when somebody says to us, I have been worried for you. Means that the person have been a little bit afraid that something bad had happened to you. Is it good for you to walk around and being worried all the time? And can I ask you, do you like to walk around being worried all the time? To feel worried is actually to walk around and being constantly under attack from arrows from all sides and directions all the time. You have to walk around all the time and look out for these kind of arrows, that they will not strike your body and do something bad to you. Let's look at it from like the daily life things. You can be worried to walk out the door and getting hit by a car on the street. You can worry about your kids when they go to school that something bad will happen to them. You can worry in your relationship that something will turn up and it will change a lot. You can worry that you will not be able to pay your bills because something is happening regarding your financial situation. You're worried that your car is breaking down and you can't pay the bill. This is just a few of the daily life things, and there's plenty other things to worry about if you want to. Let's cut deep into this worry thing. As I mentioned before, this thing about being worried, the deepest core of it is actually that we are afraid. So what is it actually we are afraid of? Let's make an example. You're walking in a little river with your feet in the shallow water. The water is extremely unclear. You cannot see where you're stepping your feet. Now certainly you feel a very sharp pain in your foot. Instantly you stop. Why do you stop? Because you're afraid. Now we'll put the whole situation in slow motion. Because what is actually going through in your head? Before you're lifting your foot, your mind have already reckoned which kind of things it could be that have happened to your foot. It could be a sharp stone, it could be a piece of sharp glass, or it could be an animal which have hurt us. In this split second, we are worried, we are afraid what could have happened. What are we worried about? What are we afraid about? The unknown. We don't know what's going on under our foot. Because of the pain we felt, we don't know if something bad has just happened to us. The unknown have made us worry. The unknown have made us afraid. We are now letting go of the slow motion. You're lifting your foot to check what's going on. You are now examining the foot and nothing has happened. By checking your foot, you're releasing that thing to be worried. Also, to be afraid, you're releasing. You're getting reassured that nothing bad had happened. What's going on is no longer unknown. You have personally checked and there was no danger. All worries and fear is gone straight away. This brings us to the point of it. We are worried about the unknown. We fear the unknown. Think this through. Perhaps stop the session a little bit and sit down and think this through. So when it all comes to the bottom of it, your worries and your fear is because you don't know. The few examples from the daily life is because you don't know. You worry because you don't know what's going on. Because you don't know the actual situation. You're fearing the worst. Exactly the same as with the foot. You're fearing that the blood is pulsing out of the foot, and that's why you're examining the foot again. That we can relate a lot to our daily life, because we humans are walking around worried about things because we don't know. We're worried about the unknown. Therefore, our imagination is fearing the worst. You are getting attacked like the arrows with fear and worries. In a depression, these kind of things are fully active. The reason is because in a depression, your mind is working on overtime in many directions. Among those directions is fear and imagination. Your imagination is setting up so many arrows striking you that you can't avoid them. There is actually only one thing to do, that is fighting back all of these arrows. How can you fight the arrows back? By get to know each and single one of them. As I told you, the fear is for the unknown. Now, to fight those arrows back, you have to use a scientific way. Why? Because thoughts, fear, and worries are not scientific. They are imaginations of the worst things which can happen to us. So by being rational and using scientific things like the internet, you can find a lot on this website. By get to know every corner of that thing which are worrying you, down to the smallest detail. It will be exactly the same as with your foot. You're lifting the foot because you need to know what was happening. And this is the same with these thoughts, these worries and fear. You need to know what can happen, what it is all about. By being familiar with that things which worries you in a scientific and logical way, you'll get to know the chances of what could happen. You'll get to know the chances of if it could happen to you, and you'll be able to make precautions so it will not happen to you. So the things which before was something you worried about, which was a fear for you, is now just an arrow you caught in the air, you broke it, and is now lying on the ground.